file them.
Yeah, we're talking about the rules that help to keep our elected leaders and other officials in check. CBS 12's Victoria DeCardenas is on assignment tonight for the I-Team. She spoke with critics of the bill who say that if signed into law, it could shield corruption. She joins us live in the newsroom with the details. Victoria?
House Speaker Paul Renner says this bill comes at a time when ethics complaints have become weaponized, especially just before an election. But critics of this bill say this would make it almost impossible for Floridians to file ethics complaints against officials who violate public trust. Keeping them honest could soon be tougher in Florida. A new measure calls for tightening up the process of ethics violation investigations. It would prohibit both state and local ethics commissions from opening cases unless the complaint comes from someone with personal knowledge of the wrongdoing. The person making the complaint would also have to identify themselves by name and file under oath. Anything other than this would be considered hearsay, and commissions would not be able to act. And Florida's ethics boards would not be able to inquire based on something contained in an investigative journalist story.
Well, the Ethics Commission has a duty to investigate these complaints diligently. And if it's based completely off hearsays, people say hearsay as it's a negative thing. It's just a thing that exists, but there is some credibility to some hearsay.
Robert Burns is a citizen journalist. He covers state politics. He's also filed at least 5 ethics complaints on government officials. Some of those complaints have been born because of tips from Burns' sources. And at times, Robert's work has put him at odds with powerful people, be it in law enforcement or in Tallahassee. Do you use these complaints, these ethics complaints, with people that you have personal issues with?
Not personal issues. I file them against people I have ethical issues with. If you're having a problem where we think that you're taking advantage of or dishonoring the public's trust, then I do have an issue with you.
One of Burns' latest complaints was against Tina Descovich, a former Brevard County School Board member. She went on to become the co-founder of Moms for Liberty, the organization that's gained national attention advocating for parental rights in education. And it just so happens Descovich was appointed by the governor to the state's Commission on Ethics, but the Senate declined to confirm her. State Senate President Kathleen Passidomo said the citizen complaint by Burns politicized the process. Burns alleges that Descovich's work for Moms for Liberty is virtually the same as lobbying because the group is so heavily involved in pushing for education reform.
So try to hold someone accountable and just have a talking point to say that it's a political attack. It's just disingenuous. It is what it is.
Ethics in government, watchdog journalism, and transparency all are center stage in this legislation that's cleared all hurdles to this point. So will the governor bring this over the finish line? And for now, Descovich's role on the ethics board is in limbo. I reached out to Descovich for comment. We did not hear back. And I also reached out to Governor DeSantis' office to ask if he plans to sign this legislation. No response yet. When they get back to me, I'll let you know what they have to say.